This is mine,
And then-
two of them, and this
No. These are yours. That's yours and that's yours. You're meant to be this side.
Oh, okay.
You see how it works, darling?
Right, okay. okay. This side, yeah?
You need to be able to...
Daniel ไปทาง
Yeah, I know.
Daniel ไปทางนู้นป้าจะ
Okay, well, you put him there, and then you come and stand this side,
Oh,
Pook.
okay.
Come on, it's a kid you're playing with. Don't get too competitive.
Alright, try again.
Done win.
Did you score then, Pook? Was that you scoring, Pookie?
2.
Get out! It was him scoring. She's cheating. Look,
I got 2.
she's got none, has she?
No, she got none.
That's right.
Funny.
That was his goal. He scored in your goal. Go on, last one. Oh, Pook scored a goal.
1.
Leaving Pook in full competitive mode, Daryl and I decided to sit out the back and go through some of the details of the water system that he had fitted to the house. So I'm back down here at Daryl's. Daryl was the guy who many of you will know about, who did a video about the house build that he did, about his relationship, how he met a Thai lady, went back to England. We got I got a massive response from Daryl's videos. When I put the first one out, everyone was asking when the second one was coming out, because I had to split it into 2. And so I'm back here today, and as usual, me and Daryl made the mistake of sitting down and got chatting before. I've already been here about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, and we've just been talking about our childhood, motorbikes, cars, because we got very, very similar backgrounds. We could just talk and talk and talk forever. Music. So we've had to cut that short now and get this video done because Pook and I are a little bit limited for time. Now, what I thought I would do, because people are asking specifics about your build, is just to get some details about one aspect. The majority of the questions are about the water system here, because you haven't got a typical water system, have you?
No, not really, no.
To what most people have here. Daryl's actually got a hot water boiler. That's what triggered a lot of the questions. People wanted to know a bit more about that and the options that are available. So I thought I could do a complete video on just the water system on the house. And of course, that's Daryl's specialist subject. You used to work for who, was it?
Severn Trent Water. I was maintenance manager for Severn Trent Water for 26 years.
So there you go, one of the biggest water companies in the UK. So when you started, did you actually design the water system here yourself, what you were going to have?
Yes.
Where did you start and how did you go about it?
Well, the first thing we looked at obviously was clean water coming in, and there is clean water, or call it fresh water, coming in up the road, but the problem is what they seem
So that's like piped in from
that's piped in.
Okay.
The problem is what they seem to do in Thailand, they won't run a main up your road.
Right.
They will run individual service pipes.
Oh, so you got the main road up there with the main water feed.
So if I want to have water brought in, although there's a main running past my house, it's only like a half-inch or inch pipe
running to someone else's
running to somebody else's house. So if I want water up here, I've got to pay for the water people to bring a complete main from the main road, which is perhaps about half a kilometre sort of up the road.
That's quite a lot then, yeah.
That is quite a lot. So we thought, well, we go with borehole and give it a try. And obviously if that didn't work out, we've always got the option to go onto mains water. So then we looked at sort of boreholes and got prices for boreholes. Something which sort of quite close to my heart is boreholes, because obviously I had a lot of dealing with boreholes in my previous life, working for a water company. Now, the boreholes, I'll just sort of explain a little bit. Some people may know what I'm going to say anyway. But the drilling of a borehole, obviously, the wider the borehole you can go, the better. I think a lot of people don't consider this, because before you even consider the borehole, is what size pump you're going to put in the borehole.
Well, before that though, Daryl, what I'm thinking, right, I've got a bit of land.
Yes.
Are there Is there somewhere you go to find out what the water table is here? How low it is, how far you've got to drill down, or...?
No. All I would say, it's the people that do the boreholes, they know the area.
And they'll have a rough idea.
They have a rough idea. There's the old story about the man with the stick. You know, the
water diviner.
The water diviner.
Did I have them in Thailand? I've never seen one.
I've no idea, but...
I've actually seen them in the UK.
Yes,
yeah.
I have seen it in the UK. I've seen it in the UK.
But no, I've never seen that here.
So I was going to say, the first consideration is sort of what size diameter you're going to have your borehole.
Okay.
Because obviously, the wider the borehole, the bigger pump you can put down, and then you want to consider sort of how much water you want to come out of the borehole.
There is something else as well. So you drill the borehole and then you drop the pump into the borehole. You don't have the pump at the top sucking it up.
Oh, we'll come on to that one.
Okay.
I'm going to cover that. I'm going to cover that. So you think about sort of drilling a borehole. So and your diameter, because obviously if you put a 4-inch borehole down and you want to put a 5-inch pump in, you're going to be in problem. So I would suggest you go the biggest you can go, which is usually about 6-inch.
Right.
Because obviously the boring bars they use, I think, is about 6 inches, about biggest they'll do here.
Okay.
They will drill down anything 20 metres, you're going to hit water.
Yeah.
I would probably say. It varies. Here we hit water at about 30 metres. But I would then say drill it as deep as you possibly can, really, because if you hit water at 40 metres and you stop, you could have your pump in there. If the water table drops to a level, you can't go any farther down. But if you've gone down to 50 metres, you've got the option of putting your pump deeper down if the water table drops down in the summer, you know, when you haven't had any rainfall.
Okay.
Right. The other thing is, what sort of pump do you want? It's like you just said, Kevin. Do you have a pump on the top or do you have a pump in the bottom? There's two types of pumps, basically: a surface centrifugal pump,
right,
and a borehole pump. A central surface centrifugal pump, right, will suck the water out of the borehole.
Right.
Now, something else which may be sort of enlightening to people: a pump will only pump 25 feet. It will only suck 25 foot of water.
Okay.
So if you've got a borehole which is 30 foot deep, the centrifugal pump on the top will not suck the water up.
Okay.
This is why a lot of these pumps that you see, they're called shallow well pumps.
Right, okay. Yeah.
But what they tend to do, if you've got a surface pump and it's got two pipes on it, the one pipe is a suction pipe, or the inlet pipe. The other pipe on it is a delivery pipe, and they push that delivery pipe down into the well, into the water. It connects with the suction pipe in the bottom of the well and pushes the water up the pipe.
So what's it pushing down here?
No, it's pushing water. So what you're doing, you're taking some of the water that you're pumping, you're pushing it back down the borehole
to push water
push water back up. That's why, like I said, normally you cannot get more than 25 foot depth of water.
Okay.
By having that system, you can actually get more water, so you can go deeper with a surface pump.
Is it approximately doubled, 50, something like that? Or
No, I'd say you're not going to get to 50.
Okay.
You're not going to get to 50.
All
but I'd probably say you'd certainly get to about 40.
Right,
Certainly
okay.
get to 40.
So you're actually pushing some of the water you're pumping back down to push even more
Push water up, yes. Then obviously, the delivery side of the pump, that's where you would sort of deliver into, perhaps into a ring main, straight into the house, or into a tank, do it whichever way you want.
Okay.
The other way of doing it is a borehole pump.
Yeah.
Now, a borehole pump does not suck, it pushes.
Right.
Now, there is no limit on what you can push with a pump. The only sort of limiting factor you've got is the pressure, the flow that the pump will produce.
Okay.
So the deeper you go down with the pump, the less flow you're going to have. Now, you
sense.
just said something about pressure. I'll come on to that in a minute, which is something I think needs explaining.
Yep.
So your borehole pump sits in the water, totally. It can be 40, 50, 60, as deep as you want it to go, as long as the duty of the pump is sufficient to pump that distance up.
Okay.
Pumps are sort of bought for two basic duties. They have a head of a pump. The head is what it will push, and the flow. Right. Pumps, and this is something else I want to sort of get over to people. You cannot buy a pump that produces pressure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Right. If you have a pump and it doesn't pump through a pipe or anything and you put a pressure gauge on it, it will produce nothing. The pressure is sort of determined by the friction of the pipe work that is on the pump.
So the smaller the pipe work, the more pressure you'll get at the end of it.
Forget pressure.
Okay.
Forget pressure. This is where people get confused with flowing pressure.
Okay.
You will not buy a pump which will give you a pressure unless it's something like a pressure washer, which is a determined length of pipe with a hose on the end, you know, and a lance. That's determined.
Okay.
With a pump in the ground, what's going to go on the end of it, you don't. The people who are selling you the pump don't know.
Right. Okay.
So all they're telling you is how much head it will pump.
Right. Volume is it kind of?
No, the head. Right. Head is determined by the resistance.
Right.
Right. So if you have a pipe which is 10 meters high, okay, that is what they'll call 10 meters head.
Oh, I see.
So a pump will be sort of sold to you, which will produce 60 meters head. At 60 meters head, it will give you what's our flow? 25 litres.
So that's like a volume
flow.
thing. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Okay, right.
How much you'll get from it.
The pressure is determined by how much resistance you've got in the pipe.
Right.
Now, when it pumps up a pipe,
that
causes resistance.
Of course, yeah.
And
gravity.
that resistance is what gives you the pressure.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So roughly, every 10 metres of head will give you 1 bar of pressure.
Right.
I'm
following you. Yeah.
Will give you 1 bar of pressure.
Okay.
Right. So if you've got something which is a pump which will give you 20 metres head, it will produce 2 bar of pressure.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
And the sort of pressure you're looking at in house is between 3 or 4 bar.
Right. Okay.
That's what you're looking at.
Okay.
So I hope that sort of explains sort of the difference between flow and pressure.
Yeah, getting a bit technical.
And that's what I'm trying.
It's important.
That's
it really
what I'm trying
Yeah.
not to get sort of too technical.
Yeah.
But people seem to think they buy a pump.
Yeah.
And they say, I've read it many times. I bought a mid-range pump.
Yeah.
Now a mid-range pump doesn't mean anything.
No.
You've got to be looking at what duty the pump will produce, what head and what flow, because you do not know how deep you're going to put the pump in.
Sure.
Another thing is with a borehole pump, again, if your borehole goes dry, if you've got a pump which has got quite a good head on it, you can actually put that pump down deeper into the borehole.
Okay.
And that's something worth considering.
Yeah.
Because I've known people where they've had a borehole dug and it's gone dry, and they've only gone down as far as the water or not much farther, and not thought about the future where the water table can drop and you can actually put it down even farther. Okay, so what I've got here is a normal surface pump with 2 pipes on it, delivering straight into the house. I haven't got a tank, didn't think I really want one, and I've got about 2 bar of pressure on my taps, which is it's adequate for showers, taps, all the rest of it. That's not a problem. The other thing I'll go on to now is hot water.
Yeah.
Most people have got sort of instantaneous showers where they heat the cold water up as it comes through.
Through an electric heater, the shower unit or whatever. Yeah, you can get the little heaters as well to go under the sink if you want hot water in the kitchen.
That's right, yeah. Right. What we've done, we've put a hot water storage tank in, which is 80 litres capacity. And I've fed both my showers from this one. I haven't fed any taps off it because I didn't really think I'd need to. But so I've got hot water feeding both showers. Another thing is the pipe work that you use for the hot water here. It's not just your usual blue sort of
the plastic stuff they use for water
that you normally glue. It's a special pipe. It's normally green. Most of your global house people like that sell it. The only downside to it is the joints for it, whether you have elbows or you want to sort of join it together, they're electric fusion joints. So you need to have the machine to actually weld the joints onto the pipework. Now, I was lucky when I sort of decided to go down this route. the builder said, I know a guy's got one of these machines.
Oh, what a touch.
So obviously you don't really want to buy a machine just...
How much would the machine cost, you know?
I did price it, Kevin. I
Can't remember.
I can't remember. It's a case of... It's not the sort of money you really want to spend, but
No.
it wouldn't be...
You'd use it once on a few pipes.
That's right.
And the other thing here, I don't think, you don't see hire shops where you can hire that kind of machinery.
No. That's something
I heard that Pook's dad was talking about chopping a tree down in our back garden where we're going to put the septic tank.
Yes.
And I said, okay. I said, he's cleaned up his handsaw. I said, let's go out and hire a chainsaw. She said, you can't get it. You might get a man with a chainsaw who'll come and do it for you, but you don't get a hire shop where you can hire a chainsaw.
Exactly.
Same with this thing you're talking
something
about.
that I've looked for is a concrete mixer.
Okay.
Because obviously you see they all mix it up in
yeah, the big bowl thing,
in
the big
a
trough,
tub.
yeah.
And I thought this. Why don't they just have a concrete mixer? You can't hire concrete. You can buy them.
Yeah,
but you
use it once, it's going to sit there forever.
It's exactly the same as this machine for fusion welding, this pipe work.
Future business idea there, straight away. Set up a hire shop in Thailand and you'd probably do all right.
Yes, definitely. I think that would be a good one.
And funny thing is, this morning I saw a clip of a video. Brian, you know, Brian's Thailand. He's got his YouTube channel, Brian's Thailand. He's the one who's going to be dealing with the rest of my build at my place. He's been making up, you know, these little curbstone things. You've got like the path and then the grass, and you want a piece of concrete in between them, holding them.
Yes.
You can't buy them here apparently. So he's been making them. He's got a metal frame. I'll put a link to that video on here as it goes, because anyone who wants these kind of concrete things you put beside a path, like a retaining piece of concrete, Brian's been making them with a metal frame, pouring the concrete and showing you how he does it. Yeah, but yeah, hire shops. There's no hire shops here, and I'm sure there's got to be a demand for that kind of business here.
Yes, definitely.
Me and Daryl might be starting up a new business. There you go. So okay, you've got these pipes and you need this special, it's like an electrical element that heats up and it welds the plastic.
That's right, right. And that's what we've done here for the hot water. And like I say, it's been adequate for showers. I got sort of rain head showers here, and it's quite a good flow comes out of them. So that's sort of really all I could say about sort of the hot water system.
The basic system coming in. And
all I'd say, the boiler is 80 litres. It's a German make boiler. I think it's a Stoibel boiler.
For the hot water
For the hot water system.
Is that built into the tank? The boiler?
Yes. It's like it'd be like what we would
it's like
call
the old
immersion
kettles
heater.
where you've got an element inside the tank warming water.
Yes.
Okay. Because here, of course, in the UK, the biggest thing now for hot water is a combi boiler, but you've got gas flow in the UK. You don't have any gas mains here. People do their gas cooking off of a little Calagas bottle, don't they?
Yes, yeah.
Is it, what gas is that? Is it butane?
I think it's butane.
Yeah.
I think, yes.
So they just get a refill tank. So you don't get any gas main here at all. So the combi boilers are out of the question. So you've either got to have an electric heater in the house of some sort, or heat as it goes like that, or what Daryl's done. And you did that because you wanted more of a supply of water for the showers, didn't you?
Yes. Because obviously going through an electric shower, unless you've got a very high kilowatt one, right, was the electric showers tend to restrict the flow. Because obviously as the water comes through the shower, it
won't come through until it's up to a temperature.
That's right.
Slows
So
it down.
it does slow it down, so it restricts the flow coming through.
Okay.
So that was sort of the hot water sort of part of it.
Yeah.
Something else that sort of, we're talking sort of water, we were talking to sort of the other end of it.
Right.
Is septic tanks.
Okay.
Now, something that I've noticed here with certainly a lot of sort of Thai houses, they don't use proper septic tanks. They just use concrete rings piled on top of one another. I don't know if you've ever seen this,
Oh,
Kev.
I think I have, yeah.
Well, the thing is, that's not a septic tank.
No, it's just like a storage area.
It's just a storage area.
A smelly mess.
How a septic tank works, obviously, the good bacteria eats the bad bacteria.
Yep.
That's how it works. Now, the bigger the surface area you can have in a septic tank, the better.
Okay.
Because the more surface area, the more bacteria, because the bacteria lives on the surface area.
Oh, I see.
So in a septic tank, it would be full of, it could be balls, it could be bits of plastic, it could be anything to increase the surface area. And that is why you want to have a proper septic tank, not just
the concrete rings.
Not just concrete rings.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's something else. Is the other thing is sort of with your septic tanks is make sure that you sort of, I say, empty it regular, I would say every 3 years to empty a septic tank.
You do have to empty them.
In theory, no, but in practice you do. It's a little bit, it's one of that. If
So
all
there's
of the bacteria went into it, right, was good bacteria,
Yeah.
and it all worked and you had good flow into it and all the rest of it,
Yeah.
it should keep itself sort of healthy and
Yeah.
all the rest of it. But what happens is you tend to get things get into it and make the bacteria go off. And when the bacteria go off and you start to get very bad bacteria,
Yeah.
it actually starts eating the good bacteria. So you end up with a problem. So that is
Right.
why I would say every 3 years, empty it.
I don't understand this at all, really don't. But there's another consideration, just in case you do need to do that. Siting the septic tank is really important, that you in a place where a truck can come and pump it out.
That was actually on my bucket list. I was going to talk
Right.
about it as well, and that's the consideration is obviously don't put your septic tank around the back of the house where there's no access to get a tanker in to empty it. That is another consideration to make when putting in a septic tank.
I don't understand the workings of these septic tanks. Do you have to put chemicals in it at all?
Yes, you do.
Is that a regular thing?
No. When you start it off, because obviously when it starts off, right, there's no bacteria in it, and obviously when the waste goes into it,
Yeah.
you need something to start to eat that waste.
Right.
And what you do, you put what they call a feed into it, and it's usually like a black powder.
All right.
There's two ways you could do it. You could either buy this black powder, which is it's a few baht. You can buy it anywhere in these builders
Yeah,
merchants. Or another way, if somebody is emptying a septic tank,
Yeah.
get sort of fill it quarter of the way with waste out of another septic tank.
Nice. Well, you
That's-
go down there with your bucket, do you, and collect it?
Well, no, you get the tanker to drop it in. That's another way of doing it.
It's not what I'd want to do.
No, it's easier to go to the builders merchants.
Yeah,
it's
get the
like
powder.
it's like a sack of powder.
Okay, yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Okay.
Okay, right. The other thing is what we call grey water, because obviously what's going into your septic tank would just be toilet waste.
Yeah, you've got two waste systems here, haven't you?
Yes,
You've
yes.
got, well, you do in the UK. Do you have that?
No, because in the UK was saying we've got sewers.
So everything just goes down the sewer?
Everything goes down the sewer, basically.
Right, so here you've got the, like you say, the two different types of waste, of grey waste and brown waste, is it?
Yes.
So you do your washing up or you shower, that water goes out and it goes out into a concrete waste pipe that's
Yes.
underground on the roads, yeah?
Yes,
not?
yes and no. Yes and no. Hang on,
Tell me a bit more.
let me come back.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So your sort of toilet waste is going into your septic tank.
Yeah.
If you was to put your grey waste into your septic tank, which is shower, which has had soap with it, cleaning materials where you've cleaned your sink
Right.
and all the rest of it, all these things is harmful to the bacteria in the septic tank.
Right.
And it will kill the septic tank.
Okay,
So that is the reason why you wouldn't put grey water into the septic tank.
gotcha, okay.
So what you need to do is your grey water is to go out into a soakaway, which you would have in your ground,
Okay.
or into a sewer pipe which goes
Which
into
we've got outside
dig
ours,
outside
yeah.
your
Because we're in
house.
town, there's a concrete sewer pipe that runs right the way through the city.
Yes.
And we go into that.
But it's a sewer pipe as such that it only takes grey water. It doesn't take
toilet waste.
toilet waste.
This is something else now. Okay, the septic. Going back to the septic tank. So you flush a toilet. Everything goes into the septic tank.
Yep.
You've got the bacteria working to the good bacteria, killing off the bad bacteria, and
Yep.
that keeps a balance. I take it.
Yes.
What about the water that's in there?
Right, I'll come to that. Right, a septic tank normally is in three parts. You've got the bottom part,
Right.
which is like the digestion area,
Right.
right, where the good and the bad
That work takes
are
place.
working together. Now, what happens? The waste goes into the septic tank, into the bottom of it.
Right.
Although the pipe where it may go into the top, it actually feeds down inside to the bottom.
Right.
So what happens? What goes in, something's got to come out.
Yeah.
So what happens? Above the waste is a clean water area.
Okay.
So the clean water, after it's been digested,
Yeah.
should be reasonably clean water.
Yeah.
On top of that is a scum trap.
Right.
So you don't get the scum, doesn't go out of the septic tank.
Right.
And obviously the waste, which is underneath,
Yeah.
doesn't go out.
No.
So it's basically just the clean water.
Does that go into the grey water
That
waste?
Right. That goes into the grey water waste.
Right.
So what I would say with the grey water waste, now I will show you in a minute
Yeah.
what I've done. All my grey water pipes I've got going out of the house, I've put into chambers and then into a 4-inch main.
Right.
So although it's 2-inch running out of the sinks and the showers and all the rest of it. Where I've come out with floor drains, which is grey waste, I've gone through U-traps.
Yeah.
Because floor waste, and I've noticed this when I first come to Thailand, and a house that we rented, it smelled
Yeah.
in the shower room because the smell comes back up through the drain.
From
and
the
there's
drain up into the sink or whatever, yeah.
into the sink or up your floor waste
Floor
in your
waste,
shower room.
yeah.
And I put U-traps,
So you've got a water...
so I've got a water trap,
yeah.
which will stop the smell coming
yeah,
back.
sure, yeah.
The other thing was, all my wastes going out, obviously from sink waste, it's a good idea to perhaps put fat traps in.
Yeah.
Because obviously you don't want fat traps going into a soakaway,
No.
because it'll block a soakaway up.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And the other thing, I've put a 4-inch main for my grey water and fed my 2-inch wastes from my floor, sinks,
Yeah.
and all the rest of it
Yeah.
into a 4-inch main. And where I've got each junction, I've put a chamber in.
Right.
So if there is any blockage, I can get to it.
Oh, okay. Right.
Another consideration is where you have your soakaway for your grey water, try to put it as far away from your borehole as possible.
Right.
Because obviously that water from the soakaway is leaching into the ground.
Into your water table, and you're going to be sucking that back up to...
And you don't really want to get your own back, so to speak.
No, that's right,
So
yeah.
the farther away you can put your soakaways,
Sure.
the better.
Okay.
So if you want to have a look, I'll show you.
Yeah, let's have a
sort of
look
couple
at
of
the
things that
setup
I've
you've got here.
done.
You've got quite a few different little manhole covers here, haven't
this is
you?
what I'll explain. Right, this is what I've done. This is the floor drain,
Okay.
which comes out of one of the bathrooms,
Right.
and obviously the sink that's in the bathroom
Yep.
as well is fed into this 2-inch pipe.
Yep.
I've put these chambers in and put a U-trap.
That's the U-trap, yeah.
This is a U-trap. It's obviously got a screw on the bottom where you can undo it.
Yeah.
So obviously that will stop any smell going
Yeah,
back
because
into
it's
the bathroom.
constantly filled with water.
This is something that a lot of people I've spoken to haven't even considered this.
No.
Haven't considered it.
Right, okay.
Because obviously when you put your floor drain in,
Yeah.
it's got no trap on it.
No, that's right. It's just straight through to the
just
drain, and you've got a
straight through
pipe
to the
there
drain. Yes.
that's sniffing out the drain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So this pipe would go round and actually feeds into this one here.
Okay.
Right. As you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3 pipes.
Yeah.
There is a 4-inch pipe,
Right.
links these 3 together,
Yeah.
and in the chamber I have a 2-inch pipe running into that one, a 2-inch pipe running into that one.
Yep.
This pipe here comes into this one,
Yeah.
and also this is the septic tank here, and the
Okay.
outlet from the septic tank goes into
Goes
this
into
one
that,
as well.
yeah. Okay.
And obviously the 4-inch pipe then will run down, nearly down to the wall
Yeah.
at the front where I have the soakaway.
Oh, okay, right. Soakaway's down there.
So okay, and the borehole is back up there.
Right, so you've got them as far apart as you possibly
Yes,
can. The
yes.
borehole's at the back of the building now. The soakaway's at the front of the building, giving that distance that Daryl was talking about needing, you don't want that soakaway dropping down onto the water table where you're sucking water up to come into the house. And septic tanks underneath there. And then this is the borehole here. And any specifics about the pump that you use? This pump that you're using
like
here?
I said, this is a surface pump.
Yep.
And as you can see, it's got the 2 pipes on it, like I said.
One pushing water down, one pulling water up.
Right, that's the water coming out. That's the water coming out. That's the outlet. Now, obviously, if I had a valve on there and shut that valve off there,
Yeah.
I would actually have more flow out of there. But I don't know what depth those pipes are actually at.
Gotcha.
So I'm losing flow out of the pump because I'm
Using part of it to push
basically
down.
recirculating the water
Yeah.
as opposed to going out of the outlet.
Gotcha. Okay. So that water comes out of the borehole to here. What
Yes.
about filtering it?
Right. I've got no filtration on it at all.
Right.
Now, this is something else that is worth considering, is what you want to use your water for. Obviously, it's not drinking water.
Okay, right.
Stress that it's not drinking water. And I know some people use filters.
Yeah.
Right. And something else I would like to impress on people.
Yeah.
Filtering water right, does not take bacteria out of water.
You need a UV lamp.
It needs to be disinfected.
Oh,
and the
okay.
only way you're going to disinfect it is either chlorinate it or
Right.
use UV
Yeah.
to sterilise the water.
Okay.
That's the only way you're going to do it. And I've seen so many places here selling filters saying your water will now be fit to drink. I would not trust it, because
Okay.
what you're thinking about that you could have in the water is E. coli, coliforms,
Yeah, yeah.
this sort of thing, right? Which is all very well saying, I've had my water tested, it's okay.
Yeah.
It may be okay today,
Yeah.
but it may.
It can change, can't it? It's a water table. It's flying right the way through. Yeah, yeah.
So I wouldn't put filters to use, right, for drinking water. Not at all.
Pook's brother, in fact, just the weekend, he's put this thing beside the sink. It's I can't think what it's called now. He bought it from Amway. Cost him quite a lot of money. And what it does, it's two pipes that come out of this machine. One of them's flow in, one of them's flow out.
Yes.
So you connect it to your tap. It's like a permanent fixture on the tap, and you leave the tap switched on all the time. That pushes water into this tank. That's box,
called reverse osmosis system.
it's got the UV lamp in it.
Yes.
Well, first of all, it goes through a carbon filter.
Yes.
And then it's got the UV lamp. The water comes up and then out, and then you've got, on this little attachment on the tap is a separate tap.
Yes.
And that's the pure water you can drink.
Yes. But it's a very small,
Really slow flow.
flow of
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
Because obviously, to use UV,
Yeah.
right, it's got to have a retention period, a little bit like an electric shower,
Yeah.
where it holds the water back to make
Till it gets
hot.
to temperature.
Yeah, it
That-
works a similar sort of way.
Got it.
It's got to have what you call a retention time with that lamp to kill the
For the
bacteria
goodness
in the
out,
water.
yeah, to actually clean it.
That's what makes the water flow so small.
Gotcha.
It's the same, like I said, as
Yeah.
a shower unit, but doing it with water as opposed to.
Well,
you know,
one of
more
Pook's
in it.
dad's jobs now is getting the plastic bottles and filling them up off this slow tap.
Right.
So he's going to be filling a bottle up next time, so then they can go straight to the fridge and get nice ice cold clean water to drink. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Or if you just wanted a glass of water, you could just put it under
Yes.
that tap. It wouldn't take that long
That's
to
right.
fill.
That's right.
Oh,
That's something that I still stress to people.
so you buy your water still for
Yes,
drinking, bottled
for,
water?
only
yeah?
for yes, for drinking, definitely. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's the basics of the water system Daryl's got here. He could go on for ages, going right into the technicals and pH levels and all different kinds of things, you know. But I think we've pretty much covered the basics of what you've got here, and the kind of thing that you need to think of if you're designing your own house and what you're going to do for the water supply. Was there anything else that you needed to mention about it? I don't think.
No, I think that
Covered
sort of
everything,
covers
yeah?
it. Like I said, I don't want to get technical
Yeah.
with it, because obviously people
Well, they'll just drift off. They won't.
they'll drift off.
Well, the basics are there anyway.
That's the basics,
and
yeah.
as always, if you've got any questions, will you be okay answering the
Yes,
questions
yeah,
in the comments?
no problem at all.
Any
No
questions at all, put them down in the comments. Please remember, I always forget to do this, please remember to hit subscribe, and if you hit the bell when you subscribe, you'll get notification as and when new videos come up. I always forget to say that for some reason. Thanks very much again, Daryl.
Okay, it's a pleasure, Kev. It's a
And
pleasure.
I know for a fact you'll be seeing more of Daryl. We've got so much that we talk about. Most of it we just bore you senseless when we're talking about our days in the car trade and building motorbikes and music in England growing up and that. And it's like we've lived the same lives. There's so much in common. But you'll get a guarantee you'll be seeing Daryl again. If you've got any questions, anything, any suggestions where you'd like a video made on any of the house build or life in Thailand or anything, just let us know and we'll sort something out. Thanks again, Daryl. It's brilliant. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Right.